Hey everybody, it's Stephen here and welcome back to my channel. So the regulars amongst you will realise I haven't actually been on YouTube in roughly 2 weeks now, maybe just under. Now the reason for that isn't quite as exciting as I would have hoped. It's actually because I was laid out with a sickness bug and I just didn't have the energy to do any filming or editing within that 2 weeks. But now I'm feeling a lot better and I'm glad to be in front of the camera again, talking to everybody. Now in that 2 weeks, I've had a lot of time to think about my channel and what it is I want to do for everybody here. As you've known in previous videos, I've mentioned upcoming projects which I'm looking forward to working on, but I've also been thinking about this weekly update where I talk about my fitness and my goals for the future. Now I'm thinking while I'm also doing that, why don't I turn this into a weekly wrap-up video? So I'll actually talk about the books I've been reading within that time as well. As I'm a booktube channel, to be fair, it seems like the perfect fit. So I'm going to look at doing a weekly wrap-up video going forward with a bit of information towards the end about my health, my goals, and what I'm looking forward to bringing you in the next week's worth of videos. With that in mind, let's get into today's wrap-up for the last 2 weeks. So, because I've been laid out ill, the silver lining for this one is I've been laid out in bed reading because I've just had nothing else to do other than relax, and to me reading is relaxing. The only time I haven't been able to read is when I've been suffering from a severe headache due to this. But as I said, the silver line is I did get some reading done and I actually managed to get through quite a few books. If I remember rightly, I think it was roughly about 9 in the last 2 weeks, so that is an impressive new record for me. Normally I can get through between 2 to 3 books at the most in a week, so getting through 9 in 2 weeks is definitely something new even for me. So what books have I been reading? Unsurprisingly, it is nearly all light novels with a single manga thrown in. So the first ones I started reading was By the Grace of the Gods, and I read the latest ones in that series, 6 and 7. I'd actually gone off of that series for a while, not for the fact I didn't enjoy it, but the fact that I was prioritising other series as well. And I primarily own all of these on Kindle. I only actually own one paper copy and the rest in e-format. I do hope to get these in a paper copy at some point, but at the moment it hasn't been a priority. Now the books themselves are about a guy who had an unfortunate accident in his life. He was a very hard-working person, but then he was reincarnated into another world. And it is a pretty slow slice of life kind of isekai. The guy is basically an adventurer, but it isn't also his main job. He also owns a laundromat. Yes, that's right, the main character in this book owns a laundromat on top of other things. So it's a bit of a strange one, and I don't really know where to start on it, to be fair. I'm thinking I might look at devoting a review session to all 6 to 7 books that I've read, and then going over them all individually within that one with a complete wrap-up at the end. If you'd be interested in that one, please leave a comment below and I'll look at getting that done shortly because it is really a fun series. Next on my list of books I read was Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life, Volume 13. Again, this is another isekai, and spoiler alert, sorry about that, spoiler alert everybody, all the books I'm bringing up for you are isekais. Yes, this last 2 weeks has been an isekai dream. So this one was volume 13 in the series. So as you can see, I've gotten quite far in this series as well. Now this is about someone who lived a life where she was where people expected so much of her. She was the smartest in the family, people that wanted so much, but one day when she was walking home, she saved somebody's life and in the process died. When she died and she confronted God, the one wish that she had was not to stand out. She wanted to be completely average in the next life. And that's what God gave her. Unfortunately, God's idea of average is the average between the weakest being in the world and the strongest being in the world, which in this case is an elder dragon. So as you can imagine, her powers are severely overpowered for the average human. So she doesn't get her wish. While she tries to live out the average life of a normal person, she goes across many misadventures with the people she's met along the way, and it is a really fun and interesting read. The next book I read was actually Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody Volume 14, and for people who actually are regulars to my channel, you'll know that it is one of my favourite isekais out there, along with Ascendance of a Bookworm. Number 14 brings us back to Labyrinth City, where we left off in the previous book, but it also introduces two previous characters we haven't seen since the start of the series. One of them not actually going out of it in book 2 as a main character and now coming back, and another one I think being introduced in book 3 and leaving by book 4 or 5. So it's been a while since we've actually had them introduced to the story in any meaningful way other than just mentions. Again, this is about somebody in a previous life who was reincarnated into this world. But he was reincarnated as a level 1, but due to some cheat mechanics, he soon found himself at 310 level. Yes, that's right, level 310. He is now the most powerful being in the world by the looks of it, for the fact that he even killed a god with his cheat-like skills on his first time, on his first awakening into the world, and even though he did it by accident. Now, I won't go too far into this series other than to say it is one I absolutely adore. While it sounds like it's lots of adventure and slaying of monsters due to him being level 310 and cheat, it's actually another kind of slice of life kind of isekais. The person, while he is a hero and he is going around and he is defeating people and saving the world, is doing it in a way that he doesn't stand out. He wants to lead a normal life and protect those he cares about in this world. And you follow him on his journey as he goes from city to city, adventure to adventure, trying not to stand out while secretly saving those around him. Again, this is one of my favourite books, and it's also a favourite anime and manga as well. So I was really excited when this came out. In fact, I have the paper copy on pre-order. The problem is that's not coming out for another week, while the ebook came out last week, and I couldn't wait another week, and I just ordered it on ebook as well. So I'm going to have 2 copies just because I couldn't wait for this book. Shameful, I know, but when it's a favourite series of mine, I just can't help it. Next on the list is a light novel and a manga, and it is Ascendancy of a Bookworm Part 4 Volume 1. Yes, that's right, Ascendancy of a Bookworm. Now this is my favourite light novel along with Death March. It is a fantastic slice of life, again about somebody reincarnated into the world, trying to follow their dream of reading, but finding out that there are no books available in this world to the common class where she finds herself. She's also deadly ill and has no strength, so her struggle has been immense. In this book, we actually find her awakening after 2 years of being in a coma, and now she's about to go visit the academy within this world. Now, I don't want to go too much into this one because it will be getting into spoiler territory for people who are manga or anime only, and people who are light novel will know exactly what I'm talking about. This is a fantastic read, and I am looking forward to actually doing some sort of review on this at a later date, including talks about the world building, which I think is absolutely excellent and done really well within this series, and the magic system as well. Also, I read the latest manga in Ascendancy of a Bookworm, which was Part 1 Volume 4. As you can see, when I'm saying parts, these books are actually split into different parts. So part 1 is about one stage of a life, while part 2 is another, part 3 and so on. And each of the parts have different numbers of books in them, depending on how complex the storyline is. So as you can see, the light novel series is well ahead of the manga, and that's why I don't want to go into too much detail about the light novel just now, especially in a wrap-up video. Last but not least on the books I've actually read in these 2 weeks is How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. Now, I've read volumes 1 and 2 for this one, and I'm actually halfway through volume 3 at the moment, and it is a book that I am finding pleasantly refreshing from the normal kind of isekais. While I like my slice of life isekais and I like my demon slaying isekais, this is about a hero who is summoned to another world, but instead of actually being a hero who goes and slays the demon lord, even though there is a demon lord's army in this one, he's actually more of a thinker, more of a politician, and coming across that, the king of the country that summons him actually abdicates the throne and gives it over to him, realizing that he would make a better ruler. He also engages his daughter to the hero, which both of them are a bit unsure about at the start, but they soon come around once they get to know each other. And this is about how he introduces modern way living from our world into a medieval world with magic to actually rebuild a kingdom that is suffering from economic downfall as well as food crises. Now, this has been a fantastic read and I haven't been able to put it down. I've actually got the paper version of book 1 downstairs, but I own the volume 2 and 3 currently in e-version because I couldn't find volume 2 in paperback, unfortunately, because it's currently out of print in the UK from what I can see, or it has been in my local shops and on Amazon where I do some shopping as well. Hopefully that will change and I'll be able to get them into print and continue the series in print soon. Anyway, as you can see, I've read a lot of books these last 2 weeks while I've been off ill, and it has been an absolute dream because it's been a while since I've been able to engross myself in books this much. Anyway, apart from my wrap up, what else does I want to talk about today? That's right, my health. As you know, I've been off for the last couple of weeks due to illness, so how has my weight loss gone? Actually, the first week when I was really ill, I lost probably close to a kilogram, just over. And then this past week, while my stomach's been settling back down, my appetite ramped up like nothing else and it craved a lot of sweet stuff. So I put some of that weight back on. Overall, in the last 2 weeks, I've lost about half a kilogram, so I'm now down to about 95 kilograms overall, which is a vast improvement from my starting weight, so I am really happy with the progress. I would have liked to have kept the weight off that I lost through my illness, but to be fair, that isn't exactly the healthiest option. When your body needs to eat and refuel, you need to eat and refuel. So I'm going to keep that up. I've also had a lot of exercise this last couple of weeks just because I haven't had the energy, and as I've said, I've been laid out when I've been resting up. And finally, for this section, I want to discuss what's coming next on my channel this week. So I'm going to be looking at getting back to my Tag Tuesdays, so expect a tag this coming week. Also, I actually got a loot crate arrive in the post. So I'm going to be looking at doing my loot anime and manga unboxing this week as well, and I'm really looking forward to opening that one and sharing it with everybody. On top of that, I think I might also look at doing a filming for how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom for volumes 1, 2 and maybe 3 if I manage to finish that within the next day or two, because I'm looking at doing the filming at the start of the week, ready for next week at some point. Anyway, if there's something you'd like to see that I haven't done on my channel so far that you'd like more of, so would you like more reviews, would you like more unboxings, would you like more wrap-ups, would you like more tags, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking to improve my content. Anyway, thank you again everybody for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.